While the civilian deaths at the weekend in the southern Lebanese town of Qana could be a turning point in this conflict, they've certainly become part of the propaganda war. Israel at first acknowledged it had bombed the building in which women and children were sheltering. Today, however, amid an internet battle full of conspiracy theories about who really did what to whom, the Israelis appeared to pull back from taking full responsibility. Peter Marshall reports on this new battle for truth in Qana. Not surprisingly, his report contains disturbing images.
Death in Qana. The horror of these pictures, shown round the world on Sunday, marked what many feel will be a turning point in the conflict. By Sunday evening, the Israelis released satellite shots they say show Hezbollah firing rockets from Qana. They said the lorry seen here was driven by Hezbollah fighters hiding in the village.
This bomb was aimed at launchers that are sending horrible war machines on Israel.
Within 24 hours, Israel's Haaretz newspaper, far from Hezbollah sympathisers, said the Israeli military had no information of any rockets being launched from the site of the building, nor were there any Hezbollah fighters present at that time. The Israeli Defence Force then reportedly changed its position. It confirmed that no Hezbollah rockets had been fired from Qana on Sunday, but it said the building that was struck was close to a site from which Hezbollah had launched rockets against Israel in the past. Human rights campaigners say that's no excuse.
The fact that an area is used for military operations in the past does not make it a valid military target. It has to be a valid military target at the time of the attack, especially when civilians are involved. That's one of the basic principles of the Geneva Conventions.
By today, Israeli suggestions that there was something fishy about Qana was all over the internet. Many focused on an Israeli claim that there was a 6 or 7 hour time lag between their strike and the building's collapse. This line was pushed by Isaac Herzog again.
There are discrepancies in the timeline of the event.
Today, the Israelis said they fired their rockets hours before the building fell.
They fired the rockets there at around midnight, and the building collapsed at 8 o'clock the day after. So something is very unreasonable here, and we don't know exactly what happened.
Human Rights Watch say the time lag's a myth.
Our own investigation contradicts the Israeli claim. I mean, we have spoken to 2 witnesses, one of whom was actually present in the shelter that was attacked, and one that rushed to the scene. And they both told us that it was at 1 a.m., at 1:05 a.m., when there were 2 airstrikes, that the house was actually hit and destroyed. No one in the village talked about an explosion at 7 a.m. As well, journalists were present on the scene, a few hours, 2 hours after the 7 o'clock deadline that Israelis are talking about, and no one has seen any evidence of military rockets or anything else like that.
It's worth recalling in June, when 7 members of one Palestinian family were killed on Gaza Beach, the Israelis hinted Hamas munitions may have been to blame. Again, there was no evidence. As for Lebanon, of course, Hezbollah aren't obeying any rules of war themselves. Jan Egeland of the UN has condemned them for blending in, cowardly, he said, hiding in civilian areas to launch their attacks. But on Sunday, when the Israelis struck, all the evidence is Hezbollah weren't around. It's now clear fewer were killed in Qana than first feared, 28 rather than 54, although some are still reported missing. It's a very small mercy. 16 of the confirmed dead are children.